Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Aquaman issue number 55. Welcome to the Kaiju episode of Comic Book University. Like, Godzilla going to be coming through here pretty soon. Gamera is going to be coming through here pretty soon. They're going to put their atomic breaths against each other. Like, dude, what the frick is going on here? I got a comparison to make, all right? And if I remember to do it. Let's get into talking about who made this comic book. We'll talk about the book itself. So this is Amnesty, Part 6, Manta vs. Machine. Come on, man. As opposed to Man vs. Machine. I like it. I like it. Kelly Sue DeConnick is the writer. Robinson Roca on pencils. Danielle Enriquez on ink. Sunny Rowe on colors. Clayton Cowles doing the letters. Robinson Roca, Jason Paz, and Alex Sinclair doing the cover. And Chris Stevens and Sunny Rowe doing the variant cover. Aquaman was created by Paul Mother Effin Norris. Thank you, Mr. Norris. I genuinely appreciate that. So like I said, this is the Kaiju episode where one of the elder gods, the original gods, gets together. He turns into his Cthulhu form, and you got the Super Manta character, and he's going at it with them, and freaking little tiny Aquaman's around trying to take people out. He's like a bug on the windshield at one point, literally. Mira. Crying out loud, how the heck do I forget my girlfriend's name? Anyway, Mira, at one point, she goes and uses her powers, and she winds up making this gigantic water image of herself, who goes up and starts putting the butt whooping on the giant manta, who's actually got the programmed AI of David's dad. That's really weird. 3 generations of mantas here, because you got Aqualad there also. Now, at one point, you remember Aqualad has the same powers as Mira, right? So when these two decide to team up, kind of looks like, something off of, I'm not going to mention any movies, Pacific Rim. It kind of looks like something off of that. I'm okay with it. This was a fun, really wild, out there kind of thing. I almost expected Godzilla, I'm serious when I say this, I almost expected Godzilla to show up and start trying to do Kung Fu, like he was going up against freaking Megalon and Gigan. You remember that with Jet Jaguar? That's almost what I expected to happen at some point. I'm serious, because this was just so over the top. Now, the comparison I'm going to make is with Uncanny Inhumans, issue number 20. That was a fun issue. It was one of my earlier reviews from 2 years ago. It's the first time that I actually did a review of Ariel Anandito's artwork, and I thought it was great. And yeah, that actually began us being able to talk to each other. Now this wasn't as fun. The art is very serious in this, and it's so deep, it's so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have that giant robot kind of feel, the big kaiju kind of feel that you would kind of need to make this book the way that I think they were really trying to make this book. The art just looked too serious for the story that they were trying to tell. Granted, in the end, they did show a little bit of seriousness, but I feel like this book took itself a little bit too seriously, considering that they had giant monsters running around and a giant robot. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was just a little bit too much. At some point, when you're going to do some over-the-top, crazy, goofy stuff like that, you got to make fun of yourself at some point. You know what I'm saying? You can't take yourself so seriously. You can't take your book quite so seriously when you do something like that. And that's personally just my opinion, all right? You might have a completely different opinion than that, and that's perfectly okay. But my opinion is kind of okay too, right? I loves me some Kelly Sue DeConnick. I feel like this book, I want to say that this issue should have come later, after she's already established what she's doing with Aquaman. But I also feel like that would have been the moment where everybody's like, okay, well, Miss DeConnick is clearly out of ideas at this point. So her doing it earlier, I guess, could in many ways make more sense. We'll never know, because it's been done already. But yeah, this is just such a freaking weird issue. I generally don't know where to go with this. I don't know how to feel about this, It was a fun read. Is it something that I think should exist anymore? No. You notice the dressing. We're finished with the Year of the Villain, right? So this could have all ended in the previous issue. But she decided to keep it going another issue. What's up with that? What's up with that? Anyway, the book is what it is. And honestly, as much fun as I did have reading this, and a couple laugh out loud, or at least chuckle out loud kind of moments that I had, I really hope that I never see this explored again. I never want to see a giant AI manta again. I don't. I'm cool with seeing Cthulhu again, you know what I'm saying? But like some of these things were just so outlandish. Nah, we don't need to see this again for a long ass time. Maybe the next like 3 writers down, maybe somebody there can do something like this again. But nah. Now we done with this, man. Anyway, I'm done also. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.